back at the top of the table. Top of the table. Look at that. Man City, Notts County, 47 points. Won 15 or 17 games. And yet it's still not quite. Now I know how Liverpool feel. Although we are ahead of them. 5 points ahead of them, that's all. They've been pulling it back, catching up with their games in hand. They've actually played one more than us now. So you could argue 8 points gap instead of 5. But it means we really can't trip up. Although I like to think we're safe for a Champions League spot. Coming up to the halfway point, in fact. End of this episode, it'll be exactly halfway through the season. And if you'd asked me at the beginning, well, I mean, look at this. If we, say, win one of our 2 games today, and you double that for the second half of the season, we could be looking at 100 points and not winning. That'd be even worse than the Liverpool-Man City season. Just been 100 points and not win. Crazy. I'm still miffed about that draw with City. Since we last enjoyed one another's company, we racked up all 3 wins, clean sheets, back to the form before the last episode. So that's all good, kind of what we expected, really. Especially given the opposition, we are now certainly ahead of them. We had to rotate for the Crystal Palace game after having our primary players against Monaco, and we did all right. Both goals coming from the right wing, Spalek and the Spalek's replacement of Harry Wilson. Comfortably the better team, were never in trouble. Only 1-0 against Brighton, though. We did have a disallowed goal, can't remember who that was. But Paqueta got it off early, and then job done, essentially. In fact, I did flip off. I did change back from positive to cautious on that one, because there were a lot of long balls, really lumping them. And they were tricky. Luckily, we had a better defenders there, so they were dealing with it. But yeah, I was just playing a bit cautious. And then Huddersfield was a comfortable win, as I hoped it would be, with our second string. They had a man sent off, which helped. James and I started him, keeping his development going, and he was excellent. Troubled them an awful lot. His finishing was more developed. He definitely would have scored more today. Chelsea and Arsenal. Oh God! Oh, I didn't notice that. We've got City in the next round of the Carabao. Oh well. What else was I gonna say? Oh yes, other news. What news? Champions League. The draw has been drawed. Bing. We got RB Leipzig. I mean, they are. I can't. They mixed it up, or is that? No, I think it's first place. Yeah. So these are all the teams that won their group on the right. So they're all starting away the first leg, home on the second. So they're all the teams we could have drawn, though we couldn't have drawn Juventus because you're not allowed to do a team from the same group. And yeah, RB Leipzig. I mean, there's no easy draws. The only 2 you could argue would have been easy would have been Ajax and Olympique Marseille, but outside that, RB Leipzig possibly the 3rd, maybe with Porto. Don't know. Excellent kind of attacking prospects. Look at some of those values. You know, a bunch of £60 million players. Wallop, all going forwards. Defensively, not amazing. Not amazing at all. Oh, the one good defender there, 36 million. That chap's injured for. Will probably be back in time. He's out for some months. So I don't know. Defensively, we perhaps. Don't know. It's gonna be a tough game. Very even, I think. Very even. They look kind of similar to Monaco. When I always try and buy him and never get him. Yeah, they remind me of Monaco. We did beat them, so we'll see. They're second in the Bundesliga though, so they're none too shabby. So, and our board takeover finally happened. I don't think this will show anything particularly, no. But that's occurred now. They put money into the club, which upped our transfer budget to a 30 million coming up for the winter break. Oh, and we nearly finished our training facilities. Really, I've never seen this happen before. Because you certainly can't ask the board to improve your training facilities whilst you're improving your training facilities. But they've already committed. The very first thing the new board did was say, and we're putting 10 million into improving the training facilities, which we're already improving. So that's great. That means that'll happen twice in one season. This one will be just completed, and before it starts, the new one is starting. Before it finishes, the new one's starting, and that'll be done ready for the end of the season. So that'll be 2 step changes, which is just fantastic. Of course, as soon as the youth start, I'll be asking him that one as well. I was worried it'd interrupt the new stadium build, but it hasn't. So that's all good. Right, arrived to Chelsea. We're all fit again. It's our first team again. Let's just see if we can keep pace with City. As I said, odds are definitely in their favour. But I think again, I'd still be happy with a Champions League spot. We haven't quite got the depth of squad to perhaps compete with City, and certainly as we're going further and deeper into the cups, we're getting sort of tired and having to rely on our second string more. And our second string, despite the fact they're doing perfectly well, they are certainly a grade below the kind of first teams of other clubs. There are players there who are just decent. Müller, for example, is just decent. Both of our defenders, by our first team standards now, are just decent. So that's what I'll be looking at in the transfer window. New left winger, I think, might take priority. So Müller's the easiest to move out. And then I've got quality cover for Horta. And then they can vie. Hopefully I'll try and buy someone even better than Horta. But we'll see how it goes. He's doing great this season, so I'm not too worried. Left back is the other place. Yeah, basically the left wing. Adam Lewis is the second team left back. And again, he's not rated particularly brilliantly in comparison to the rest of our squad. So it should be an easier one to move out. That was an eventful half, wasn't it, boys and girls? Let's see what we can do. Oh, let's do something. Kante's on the yellow, that'll help us. Where are Man City? What are they doing? Other than probably winning. Oh, looks like they've already played. And, oh, they drew. Man City have drawn. So this is a chance to go ahead. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they are still playing against Watford, who took the lead early. Come on, guys. Get the ball off them. What do we set to? I think we're set to cautious. Oh, oof. Why did they allow him to get the shot off? Oh. Defending someone really annoys me. Look how many defenders are around him there. Morata somehow got a pass off. Oh, terrible. Oh, that's annoying. Right, come on, Crowther, do something. Terrible cross from Crowther, straight back to them. There they go again. Come on, somebody. Oh, Scalby with a big punt to Randall. What on earth happened to that ball? Alien swiped it from the pitch. Wilson with a corner, comes to nothing. We've got it back. Rice looking for an opening. Galliard wasteful. No throw. Nothing. Oh no. Don't go wrong now. Come on, we always beat Chelsea. It's not got much, have we? Build on for Alves whilst he's on a yellow. Nice. Flip to attacking. Yell at them a bit to push forwards. Rah, 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 rah. Bad, bad, bad. Come on, Horta. You're a magic man. Oh. Turner and Rice. Two defensive midfielders both having shots. Nothing to lose now. Come on, Horta. Don't want to keep relying on you, but we are utterly relying on you. Can't find the ball through. Traore getting very forwards. Nailed to Voss. Oh. Squeaked it, ball back, quick, back to cautious. Voss poaching a goal there. Oh, God, look at that, hardly anyone back. If we'd lost possession, would have been in massive trouble. Milne cuts in, does again really far forwards. Oh, it looked like a defensive header back to the keeper. who's forced to parry it rather than catch it, and Voss springs. Right. Don't do anything silly now, lads. Take the 1-0. Although, by silly, I mean grab a late winner. Yeah, you know. Keep calm, come on, Wilson. Around there. No time to waste. Hoof! Hoof! Okay, make. Well, one there by Rice. See, we're doing alright now. Now we can play defensively and cautious. Bit late, lads. Right, what was the City result? I'm not sure it's that tough to take. I think the result's perfectly fair. What was the City result? What was the City result? City, yeah, they won. Of course they did. Okay then. Hang on in there, lads. Quite defensive formation. Right. Come on, guys. Please win. We've not had to lose in ages. The Juventus game? Oh yeah. It's so difficult competing against Manchester City in this though. Between the squad they start with and the resources they get continually. So difficult. I do think I need to start picking other leagues to play in. That's something like a journeyman being tempting. Yeah, I'm sure I've tried like Italian Serie or something like that before. I just find it harder to get into because I suppose I don't know the team so well. Yeah, ooh, nice punt by Rice. I don't know, you get a feel for them fairly well up and down the English leagues if you're an English kind of football follower, as what I is. Yeah, abroad not so much. Probably now better than in years prior. Perhaps I'll have to think about it. See if there's a fallen giant I can recover. Although those saves have probably all been done before, haven't they? I'm thinking like, I don't know, Fiorentina in Italy, that sort of thing. Because a lot of those clubs went financially up the Swanee, pulling their way back a bit like Rangers recently had to do in the Scottish leagues. Scottish leagues? Yeah. The Scottish leagues is they're always really stimmed for money. Which is a different sort of challenge. But like with County, if I keep going as they are, reputation only gets better and you'll get better players and the money's great. The Scottish League, outside of, well done Randall, outside of like some Champions League money, when you finally get to be in the top 2, I think, from Scotland, you're surviving on scraps. And the big players, you just can't afford the wages, and they don't want to come to you anyway. Or if they do, you've got to pay them an exorbitant wage. Plus Loki's done a Fort William save for like a million years now. Don't really see much margin in being an alternative to that. It's pretty much your gold standard. Right, 1-0. So far so good. Plus, see how this goes. I want to. Your as I spoke before, your win condition for a lot of playthroughs is win the Champions League. And it's not going to happen this season by any means. But when it will be like November would be the new Football Manager when it's usually November. So yeah, this will be done one way or another before then, I would think. So there'll have to be another save. Right, our mark. Fresh legs. Oh, they have a Busquets as well. Right. Speaking of which, who's ours? Galliard is the most tired. So I'll bring on Willock, who's not on my bench. Oh, good. Got that wrong, didn't I? Not so great. Not so great. Okay, so no playmaker. Okay, so we'll do a weird swapsy thing there. Fair enough. Who else is knackered? Porter on the left, yeah. Declan Rice. Trade him. And then not much else really. Randall's doing really well and is really fit. He also has great natural fitness. 18. Called it. Never really noticed that. Right, that'll do them. 2 subs. All in the middle. How are we doing? We're still up, slightly down on possession, but by far the better amount of chances. They were only 1-0 up. Ooh, one free kick from them. Safe. Now to go. There, badly knackered as we are. Oh, that's Wilson knackered and on a yellow. Well, we have 3rd one then. Trusty Mr. Trusty Mr. Spalek. On your trot, son. Wind the clock down a bit. There they come again. Plenty of it now. Good. Their throwing comes to nothing. Good ratings all round. Right, final highlight of the game. Just blunt this attack, lads. Not it. Ball blunting. Blunter. Oh god. That was Spalek. Destroys Rabiot. Fair enough as the ref. Whatever. It's nearly sandwich time. Must be hungry. Person needs the loo. No more stoppages. Head. Thank you. Ah! Further away. Oh god. That was a flurry. Oof. Oh my heart. Nothing particular. That was really good. There we go. That's the sort of thing I wanted against Chelsea. Kaboom. Beat the 4th place. As always, we have to rush and see how Manchester City have done. We pulled it back. No, better off because they lost. No, sorry, they drew. Oh gosh. Where did they draw to then? Oh, I'm terrible at this. I'll have a look at. Matches, fixtures and results. There we go. Right, so we beat Arsenal, yeah. Whoa, Man City. Bloody hell. Why Huddersfield? Huddersfield with a 90. Thank you, Huddersfield. Very good. Take that. Because it was Watford they beat the previous time, wasn't it? Yeah. God, 93rd. Just. Oh, if only. Wilfred Ndidi, he's the player I wanted to buy and tried to buy, and they wouldn't sell him to me. That's why I got Declan Rice instead. 50 million I bid for him. And okay, I bid 50 million and they turned me down, but then sold him to Man City for 39 million. How does that work out? Exactly. No, really. How? I mean, they're pretty similar, aren't they? Although, look at that. Despite the fact they're pretty similar, Blue is indeed, and they've given him the 4 stars instead of Declan's 3.5. Yeah, I suppose it's because if you look at the edges, aerial and speed versus slightly attacking on Declan's. Grump. And look, the values. Oh, I was robbed. Still, we're no better off. We might as well not played. No better off whatsoever. Still 6 points ahead of Liverpool. Oh, who? They must have won both of their games because they're 6 points behind and no further games in hand. So this is exactly the halfway point. God, we were looking at 102 points to come second. My word. Both of us having an invincible season so far. That will not last. Particularly they're lying on 93rd minute goals against Huddersfield, and we're nearly bottling it repeatedly. Look at that run. Right. Do we do a cup double? Watford and City? Feels like it. Yeah, it picks itself, doesn't it? Watford and City cup double. Sorted. Anything else to say or waffle on about? No, the transfer window will have opened by the time we come back. Well, so I've already had a nosy and see if I've done any business or not. No guarantees, but as I say, we look at our star rating. So in theory, these are the players we'd be looking at potentially moving. Vanilla is the one that's still got potential to really improve out of them all because he's still very young. But his heading and jumping reach are not good enough for centre back. I do have him training as a defensive midfielder, but because I'm not playing him there, because I've got Rice and Busquets, he's not making a lot of improvement on that position. Could nearly play it, but I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure nearly is quite good enough for us. Oh, it's got a lot braver. So Bonilla, Busquets has been kind of knocked down for us getting Declan Rice, which is not too grumpy about because he was free, remember, but he's perfectly decent cover. I wouldn't look to him as the first one of those four to replace. If we got an offer, I'd consider it, but otherwise, look, it's the wings. I mean, they're fine. They really are fine. But our coaches consider them both to be backup, and they kind of are. Look at them; none of them excel anywhere in particular. They're not players who've got the kind of particularly the flair to come on and change a game. Certainly not like Spalek was doing for us maybe a season or so ago. We're just that bit better now. So we look at Spalek's stats. How's he doing? 12 appearances. 2 goals, 1 assist. So, you know, it's not the view I usually use. It's that one, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, so he's not doing great guns for us. Mueller similarly. So the two of them. Oh, Analyst's got to 3 stars now. Slightly better. Oh, but his rating's great. Oh, no wonder people now want him. Wolves. Not convinced. No, right. Well, that's good. He's been doing better than I realised. Oh, Growler's developing fantastic. He's super. My plan of playing them to actually make them better has worked. Oh, green arrows. Cool. So yeah, left wing, right wing. We'll see what's out and about. I've not looked at Turner for a little while. How's his development? He's hopping around. Have you got the flu or something? That's not so great. Okay. I think it's because I'm slowly trying to train him out of being just a central midfielder and into being more of a Mazzella. Perhaps that's a mistake. Perhaps that is a mistake. No, I like him for his potential because look, his physical and mental stats are brilliant, but his technicals aren't anything in particular. So what am I doing, Mazzella? So that you can see the brown lines there are the Mazzella kind of positions. Yeah, it's not working fantastically, is it? Maybe I'm making a wrong call there. Deep line playmaker, then it'd be him instead of Willock. Looking at it, his first touch is brilliant. And perhaps deep line playmaker is a better call. Thinking to change Willock out for him. Yeah, well they're chalk and cheese, aren't they? Yeah, it's the defence bit, isn't it? So do I look to do him as a defensive midfielder instead of Busquets, perhaps? Live, thinking on camera. Compare with Busquets. See, that's similar, isn't it? And he's better on the defence. Ooh, I hadn't thought about that. That's something. Purely the vision. Which is why he'd be not a very good playmaker. I had not considered that. Defensive midfielder. Right. About turn. DM. Defensive midfielder. Usually go for support. Yeah, okay. Let's see how that works out. That's a much better match for him, isn't it? Alright, that means transfer window. Maybe I look at Buskets on the move, which is another foreign player, out. Keeping an English one's always good. Keep the ratio better for quotas and whatnot. Ooh, okay. Interesting then. So it might be Buskets I look to move on. And it would be someone to challenge Paqueta instead. So it would be a Mazzella. Always the most exciting players to buy. Those attacking midfielders. All the big numbers. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Right. Get the saving. Oh god, let me check the sound. Make sure I'm wittering on to myself for the whole episode. Just noticed though my my speakers are over there. I hadn't put them in front of me. Well, it sounds like it's picking it up okay. Right. Job done. See you in a couple of games time. Happy trails.